Hello. Welcome into this new weekly Spirit Boost. I'm Tammy Masterbirdy, best-selling author of the book The Universe is Talking to You. And today we are talking about how to infuse joy into anything and everything that you do. And I'm going to share with you sort of an exercise that I created for myself. Oh gosh, 5+ years ago, I think. And it's actually in my book, The Universe is Talking to You. Oh, here comes the cat. It's in my book as well, and it's literally called Infuse It with Joy. So why do you have to care about, besides the fact that it makes you feel better, okay? Why should you be caring about infusing joy into things that you're doing and into your life? And so what I want to explain to you about that is you want to create things that you want in your life. You want to find more happiness. You want to find more joy. You want to find more peace. You want to manifest the things that you desire. In order to do that, and in order to feel good in your life, you want to get your vibration up. You want to be vibrating at a higher level so that not only do you feel good, and maybe you're able to attract more of what you want into your life, but you're also then able to open up and notice the signs and synchronicities around you that the universe is sending to guide you toward what you want, right? You want your vibration to be higher. Now, is it possible to keep your vibration high all of the time, every day, constantly? No, because we live in this physical world where things are going to aggravate us. The energy is dense. It's just harder in general to maintain that. And so what I always say is when you are trying to manage your vibration, there'll be ups and downs, there'll be dips. But if you can notice those dips and say, oh, I got to get my vibration back up, right? I got to get myself back into the mix. Life becomes a little bit easier. Well, what if you could plan things out in a way that no matter what you do, you're able to feel and find joy? Even the things that you cannot stand, even the things that you loathe doing in your life. And I'm talking about daily to-dos, work to-dos, weekly to-dos, monthly to-dos, holidays, whatever. I'm talking about your entire life. And sort of taking inventory and saying, how can I bring joy into everything? And it is possible, but you need some pre-planning. So years ago, I did this exercise for my business because I was like, what do I want to do in the new year? What do I not want to do in the new year? What do I like to do? What do I not like to do? And then I realized, my God, I could do this for my entire life. Like doing laundry, cooking. Sometimes I just don't feel like cooking dinner. Cooking may be your thing. It may bring you so much joy. It doesn't always bring me joy. I would rather be baking. Baking brings me joy. Going grocery shopping on a weekly basis, cleaning your house, those types of things, right? Those are just sort of either daily or weekly things, but they tend to suck our energy down. Having to go and visit relatives that suck your energy down, or whatever it might be. Maybe you visit family once a month or something like that because you live far or whatever. There are all these things that we all have in our life and in work, right? So this exercise really can apply to both areas. But there are all things that we have in life that suck our energy down a little bit, that we procrastinate on, that we don't feel like doing. And there's ways to figure out how to bring joy. So I like to do this exercise. I tell my students, and I just actually did a class in my membership last night that was part 2 of manifesting the best year ever. And part of this, I gave them this exercise as sort of a bonus PDF for them to do. Again, it's in my book, The Universe is Talking to You, but I'm going to briefly go over it right now just so that you can do this today, tomorrow, whenever, before the end of the year. So the goal is to manage your vibration. The goal is to feel good as much as you possibly can, so you feel good, so that you attract more of what you want, so that you notice the signs and synchronicities around you, that the universe is trying to direct you toward your highest good, toward creating what you want, right? We want to maintain that vibration. Joy does it. Joy, appreciation, love. These are the highest sort of energies that we can create. So here is I'm going to explain it to you. Here's what I want you to do. It's actually pretty simple. And it's, for a Virgo like me, I find it fun. But what I want you to do is just get out a piece of paper, and I want you to sort of take inventory of all the things that you do on a daily basis. Maybe you shower every day, you brush your teeth every day, you make breakfast every day, you commute to work every day, you cook dinner every day. What are the things you sort of do on a daily basis just in your life? I like to break work out separately. I'm just talking about your life, right? What are the things you do on a daily basis? And just list them out. Then what are the things you do weekly? Do you go grocery shopping weekly? Do you go to do you do laundry only weekly? Maybe Saturday is your laundry day. Do you meet up with a friend weekly? I don't want you to just list the things that you don't like. I want you to list everything that you do. The stuff you like, the stuff you don't like, list it out. Same thing with monthly. Maybe once a month you get together with someone. Maybe once a month you go to a certain class or a certain event, or whatever you might do just on a monthly basis. And then yearly, like, what do you do once a year? Do you have like, we have a Halloween party every year. We host Thanksgiving every year. We host Christmas Eve every year. Maybe you take a vacation every year. What are the things that you do yearly? So you're going to do daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. Just list them out. That's just sort of taking inventory of your life and the things that you do, whether you like them or not. The second step is what I call evaluate and elevate. So now you want to go through that list of things you like, things you can't stand, things that are in between and neutral. You're going to go through that whole list, and you are going to ask yourself for each item, does this make me feel good when I do it? Do I enjoy this? Do I love doing laundry? Do I really enjoy cooking dinner? Do I enjoy my commute? Maybe you have a 45 minutes commute to work and you love the downtime. Do I love my commute? Are these things, do I love going to the grocery store? Does this excite me? Right? Some people, yes, some people no, but I want you to go through. Do I love hosting the holiday? Do I love visiting relatives? Do I love taking these classes? Maybe you meditate every day. Do you love it? Maybe you go to yoga, a couple of times a week. I would slot that under weekly. Do you love it? These are all things I want you to ask. If the answer to, do I love this? Do I enjoy this? Does this bring me joy? If the answer is yes, fantastic. Move on to the next item on the list. But if the answer is no, I really don't like this, then I want you to ask these questions. I want you to say, number one, can I delete it? Can I just stop doing it? Can I just stop doing this? So, yes or no. Some things maybe you can. Some things you're like, why am I forcing myself to do this? I don't have to do this. Some things you're like, yes, no, I have to cook dinner, or nobody else I can't hire a chef, right? So maybe, yes, you have to do it. But maybe yoga is just not your thing and you'd like to look into Pilates instead. Do you enjoy it? Okay. And if you don't enjoy it, can I delete it? If you're like, no, I can't delete it, I have to do it. The second question is, can I delegate it? Can I delegate it? Meaning, can I ask someone else to do it? Can I get one of my children to do it? Can I get my spouse to do it? Is there somebody else that can do this for me so I can take it off my plate? Same thing if you're doing this for business. And delegate also means, can I get help with it? Can I ask someone to help me with it so I'm not shouldering the burden myself, so I don't have to do it all the time? Maybe the grocery shopping, you can, go back and forth between you and your significant other, or you and an older child in the house, or whatever. Can can I get help with it? So can I delegate it, meaning can I give it to someone, or can I at least ask for help with it to alleviate some of the dislike? If that's not possible too, and you're like, nope, I can't delete it, Tammy, and I can't delegate it or get help with it. I have to just do this. It's all on me. There's nothing I can do about it, and I hate it. The third question is, how can I make this feel better to do? How can I bring joy to this? I can't get rid of it. I can't get help with it, and it has to be done. Maybe you're commuting to work, right? You can't get help with it. You can't not commute. How do I make this feel better? I'm going to give you some examples. So let's say that you can't stand commuting to work. How can I make this feel better? Maybe you can call someone and have a conversation while you're driving. Maybe you can listen to an audiobook. Maybe you can listen to a podcast. Maybe you can watch some YouTube videos, but don't watch while you're driving, just listen. What can I do that makes this more enjoyable to me? I'm spending this time in the car anyway. I can't stand the fact that I hit traffic all the time, but what can I do to make it feel better? Oh, I could listen to an audiobook. I can listen to a podcast. Now maybe I'm looking forward to this time because I want to hear the rest of the book, or I want to listen to that inspiring podcast, or I want to listen to Tammy's weekly spirit boosts, whatever, right? How can I make this feel better? Same thing with the laundry. Maybe, like, I don't mind doing laundry, but it's the folding and putting it away that to me is like, I don't mind putting it in the washer. I don't mind switching it to the dryer, but then it's like, oh my God, now I have to like fold all this and put it away. And I am constantly listening to audiobooks, podcasts. I'll put the TV on and watch a show while I'm folding the laundry. So it's not so miserable, right? Because now I'm doing this mundane task, but I'm also doing something that I enjoy. How can you start infusing joy into the things that you don't like to do? Again, if, and under the delegate piece, I also want to say, like, can you find a way around it? Can you get help with it? So even for the grocery shopping, I always tell people, like, can you go maybe twice a month and then maybe the other 2 times you order groceries online and pick them up, or you have them delivered, right? Sometimes I don't do it all the time because now they added a delivery fee, which just aggravates me. But Amazon Prime, you can get Whole Foods. And there are literally some products that I eat that I can't get anywhere else. And the nearest Whole Foods to me is like 20 minutes away, maybe, or more, something like that. And so to avoid that, I pay the $9.95 convenience delivery fee. And it's a trade-off, and it's worth it to me because then I don't have to spend the time to go and do it, right? So that's an example of how can I delegate it, where like you're still doing it, but you're not doing it, right? You're alleviating some of it, and it's not as stressful, or it's not as time-consuming or annoying or sucks your energy, right? Because if I had to drive all the way to Whole Foods and then get the stuff and then come back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's hours of my time that I could be here, and I can order it in 5 minutes on my computer, and they'll come to my house within 3 hours. That's a trade-off for me that I'm willing to do. Maybe you don't like to clean, and so you decide I'm going to rearrange my budget and get somebody to come and clean my house every other week. I never had anybody come to clean my house until I was 40 years old, and I bought my own home with my husband, and I said, I'm not doing it. Like, I work from home. I'd rather be working and doing other stuff. I'm just not going to do it. And so literally the $90 that we pay every other week, and I don't have them do my office and downstairs. They only do the main floor. Best money I've ever spent in my life, right? Because I don't have to do it. Now, granted, obviously we do it every other week. So obviously we're cleaning up whatever, but it's different than when you have to clean top to bottom, right? So that's another thing about delegating is, can I figure out a way to get help? That's how you would get help, right? My help with the Whole Foods is somebody else shops it and packs it and delivers it to me. I just have to click a few buttons and pay the extra delivery fee. So that's the other piece of this. So if you can't do that, that's fine. Again, how do I bring more joy to it? And then I want you to literally put it into action. So now that you have this whole list, and there's, maybe just highlight the things that you don't like to do. And then you go through and you ask yourself, can I delete? Can I delegate? How can I elevate? Delete, delegate. No, I can't. I'm going to elevate it. I'm going to make it feel good. I'm going to figure out a way. I'm going to come up with a plan to listen to it. My husband was cleaning the basement the other day, and, it's not fun. he was going through all the toys that my stepson doesn't play with anymore. And so at one point he had Christmas music on. Another point, he loves like paranormal shows, so he was watching those and having that playing. That brings some joy to a task that nobody wants to do, right? I want you to pre-plan it so that now you may not enjoy this task, but you're going to enjoy the stuff that you're going to do during it. The other piece of this, the last piece of this, is let's say you can't figure out a way to bring joy to it while you're doing it. Let's just say you're like, Tammy, I can't listen to a podcast, I can't do this, I have no idea, it's not going to work. The last piece of it is, how can you reward yourself for doing it? Because then you can focus on, man, if I just get this done, then I can do this, then I can watch my show, then I will eat dessert, then I will, give myself some type of reward, some type of treat, something that I have been wanting to do. I'll do some online shopping, whatever it is. I don't know, whatever floats your boat. But that's the last piece of it is how can I give myself a reward? If you can look at all of this and figure this out for your daily life, and again, do it separately with work, I promise you, when you go to now do these things in the new year, and I always like to do this at the end of the year, when you go to do these things in the new year, you're going to not have the same attitude toward them if you can figure out a way around it. So let's say you visit relatives on a regular basis. Maybe you cut back. Maybe you don't visit them as much. But maybe you have to go and there's nothing you can do and it stresses you out. How can you reward yourself afterwards? How can you bring some type of joy to those moments that you have to be around these relatives who drive you crazy? I want you to literally go through it so you have a plan. So now when you are going through your daily routine, when you are doing the weekly things, when you are doing the stuff that you have to do, you won't dip as much because now you have a plan to either get rid of it. Oh my gosh, now I don't have to do it anymore. Get help with it. Oh my gosh, this is so much better. It takes so much stress off of me. And now I don't have to do something I don't enjoy. Or figure out a way to elevate it and make it happier and bring some joy to it, or reward myself at the end of it. And I'm going to focus on that reward and I'm just going to get through what I have to do. That is the exercise that I want you to do. Again, it's in my book. I just explained it all to you here. And I found it so helpful when I did it that I started teaching it to people. And then I had to put it in the book under the sort of raise your vibration chapter. Because again, when you are trying to notice signs and synchronicities, whether it's loved ones, whether it's just the universe and your guides and your angels guiding you, whatever it might be, they're around you all the time. But if you are at a lower vibration, if you are in misery and procrastinating and not wanting to do something, you're not going to notice them. You're not going to see them. You're not going to get those aha moments. And if you can manage to keep yourself elevated more often than not and bring yourself back up more often than not, it will make life easier for you. And I am a Virgo and I like to plan. So that's how I came up with this. I said, I'm going to write it all out and I'm going to go through this and I'm going to see what I can do. And it has literally made a big difference. And some of it is obvious. Like I said, you can listen to a podcast, you can do something, but sometimes we don't think about it and we don't realize it. And also, by the way, sometimes you can go through a list and go, you know what? I don't really have to do this. I'm not doing it anymore. Or you can go through the list and go, I'm going to figure out a way to get some help with this, whether it's paid help or, my children or my spouse or a friend or whatever. And it's sometimes surprising when you go through the list, right? So that is, that's what I wanted to share with you in terms of the exercise that I want you to do, because it will help you moving into the new year in terms of managing that vibration, in terms of feeling good, even when you're doing something that you're not, crazy about. And we all have it. We all have stuff that we don't want to do. We all have stuff that's not, pleasurable, but yet needs to get done, right? How can we elevate it? How can we figure it out? Let me see. I just want to check if there's any comments. Lorraine says, how do I raise my vibration when I'm always feeling overwhelmed? if you're feeling overwhelmed, it depends on what you're feeling overwhelmed by. But what I find the biggest thing is when I'm feeling overwhelmed, often it's because I have like a crazy to-do list in my brain. Or I'm constantly, going over, here's the things that have to get done. How am I going to get all this done? Oh my God. And now I'm thinking about it and I'm not going to do it. Like, and I start stressing myself out. And I literally say to myself, stop, Tammy, stop, stop, stop. Just write it all down. Write it all down. Get it out of your brain so it stops circulating. Write it down. Put it in a schedule. Figure it out. That's the first thing, right? Because if it's just floating around in your brain, it's going to drive you nuts. But if it's on a piece of paper and then you don't have to think about it or worry about it or stress about it till you go back to that piece of paper and go, oh, all right, here's what I have to do. Now I'm going to cross this off. Okay, here's the next thing. I'm going to slot this into tomorrow, so I'm not even going to think about it today. That's sort of how I handle the overwhelm. So like right now, everybody's overwhelmed, right? Because it's the holidays and you have to buy presents, wrap presents, give presents, bake things, cook things, plan things, whatever. Oh my gosh, right? We host Christmas Eve at our house every year. I'm literally writing a new book, planning a summit starting in January. Other things are happening in my business that I have going on. And then on top of that, we're hosting Christmas Eve. I have cookies I need to bake. I have things I need to plan for appetizers and desserts and who's bringing what and what am I making and figuring it all out. I have presents I need to wrap. It's so much stuff, right? And again, I'm trying to juggle work stuff and this extra, I'm writing a book in the middle of it all. So it's stressful. But what I did is I thought, okay, here, and I literally have planned my whole weekend out, my Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm squeezing it all in. I'm doing all different things in those days, but I've planned it out. And I'm like, by the end of the weekend, I will feel like I can breathe a sigh of relief. Like, okay, I'm in a better place. So that's sort of how I do that when I'm overwhelmed, is get it out of your head. It's almost like a brain dump, they call it. And you dump it all out and then you figure out, how am I going to do it? And again, I would say, is there anything I can eliminate from this list that I don't actually have to do? Is there anything on this list that I can get help with? And then, okay, how do I make this easier on myself? How can I bring some joy to all of this, right? So I know that when I'm wrapping presents, I'm going to be watching Hallmark Christmas movies. That is going to make me happy. I like Hallmark Christmas movies. I didn't used to when I was younger, but I think I have fallen into the age range where I now enjoy Hallmark Christmas movies. For like the past at least 5 or more years, I've been hooked on them. So that's what I'll be doing to bring myself joy. So hopefully that helps you a little bit with the overwhelm. The other thing you can always do when you're overwhelmed is tap. And I know sometimes, like when you're overwhelmed, the last thing you feel like doing is some emotional freedom technique or EFT. But I always find that the 5 minutes of the tapping and venting and freaking out brings me down. And I'm like, I should have done this sooner. And I would have saved myself a lot of stress. So yes. Let's see. Oh, yes. Yes, correct. It feels good to cross something off of your list. Like, it feels so good to be like, bloop, next. And honestly, what I like to do is take those and slot them into different days. So now today I'm not looking at the whole list. I'm just looking at here are the 4 or 5 things that I have to get done today. I try not to give myself more than really 4 or 5. That's a lot. If I could get only 3, I feel better. You know what I mean? But slot them into different days so you're not even looking at the full list each day. That I have found helps me as well. Oh my God, Patty, you said you're going to wrap and watch Hallmark Channel today. Thank you. That is what I'm going to be doing this weekend. That is my plan. I've actually taken a lot of the gifts that I've gotten, except for a few that came late, and put them in boxes. So now I have like stacks of boxes, the ones that I could box. And so that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend in the evenings is I will be wrapping Christmas presents and watching Hallmark movies, and I'm going to enjoy it. So bring yourself some joy to the things that you have to do. There's always a way to alleviate some of the stress. So yeah. Yes, Lorraine, 100%. Yes. Overwhelmed with all the stuff that you have to do. Write it down, cross it off one at a time. And like I said, I would even write it down and say, Monday, I'm going to just focus on these. Tuesday, I'm going to just focus on these. So Monday, you're not looking at all the other stuff. You're just looking at, here's what I'm going to do today. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going food shopping Friday morning after I do my breathing and meditation. I'm going to bake one type of cookie. I'm going to work. And then I'm going to wrap Christmas presents Friday night. Like I've planned, that's what I'm doing my Friday, right? I'm not going to think about all the other things that I'm going to be baking that I have to get done. I'm just saying, here's what I'm going to do. And if I accomplish these things on Friday, I don't have to worry about anything else until Saturday morning. And now here's what I'm going to be doing on Saturday, which is, again, there'll be more baking and more working because I'm working on this book and I haven't been working on weekends, but I'm alleviating that rule just for the book. And then more wrapping, right? Then I have a wrestling match for my stepson on Sunday. And then I'm going to be wrapping presents with my husband. And then I'm probably going to be working a little bit again on my book on Sunday and maybe squeezing in a baking there too. And then hopefully the baking will be done by the beginning of next week. But I slotted into different days. So it's even less overwhelming because now I'm not looking at the whole list and thinking, oh my God, how am I going to get all this done in Christmas is in 9 days or something like that. For those of you who are celebrating Christmas. So anyway, that is the story. So here's the deal. I am going to be probably not doing for the next couple of weeks, just for the end of the year and everything that I have going on. I'm probably not going to be live for the weekly Spirit Boost. However, I have pre-recorded videos. So what I'm going to do is you can still come on here, either YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, go to my feed, and I will be posting a new video for you. And then I will be back live again in January, of course. So I just wanted to let you know that. So I still will be around. You'll still get a little dose of me if you want it. And of course you can follow my stories on Instagram and, Facebook, because I'll be posting there as well, during the holidays and things that are going on. So thank you all for being here. I wish you an amazing, calming, joy-filled holiday season into the new year. It's a new year. It's new energy. And we have our brand new season 10 of the Living an Elevated Existence Summit, which is a free, amazing event that runs for 3 months that you'll all be able to listen to. So I will be back in January talking about that. Thank you all for being here. Please enjoy your holidays. Everybody stay healthy, stay safe, stay happy. And I will be back here probably with Callie. Here she is in the new year. And I'm sending love and blessings and signs from loved ones to all of you. Bye, everyone.